Polly, also known as Pollygone Illustration, and welcome to my channel if you're new here, and hello if you've returned and you've been a subscriber for a while. In this video I am going to be taking photos using my Polaroid camera and my Polaroid printer, and I'm going to be making art out of them. So with the printer, I'm planning on taking a photo with my normal camera and then digitally drawing over the top of it. Then obviously with the Polaroid camera, I'm going to take a photo with that, and once it's printed out, I'm going to draw over the top and create an illustration out of the photo I have taken. So let's go outside and get some photos. I went to the big park to see if there was anything interesting that I thought would be cute to make into an illustration, and I saw these benches and I thought it'd be really sweet if I drew a little bear having a bit of a picnic at the table. So to start up with, I did draw a white outline, and this is just so I knew where I wanted the bear to go and I could be happy with it before I put like a darker colour down on the Polaroid. And I put in a cute little sun because I just thought it needed some more colour to it. And then using Posca markers, I drew out the bear. I really like how this one came out. I think it was just a really cute little thing. And after seeing this, back again, I want to go and create some more Polaroids like this because I'd like to make like a whole little series of just these little bears doing things in the real world. So I added in some extra details like the flowers and the football just to make it a little bit more and to put some more detail into it. The Posca pens took really well to the Polaroid, and I think this is probably one of my favourite materials to use on Polaroids because they worked super well. It did take a little while for some of the colours to dry, but I really like the end result, and I think it's really cute, and I'd love to do more illustrations like this. So next, because I live in Coventry, I felt like I had to do something with the Coventry Cathedral, so I took my Polaroid camera and I took a photo of the cathedral. As you can see here, it actually came out quite dark. The sun was setting, but it wasn't anywhere near as dark as it looks in this photo. I'm not really sure what made it come out that dark, but I kind of liked the contrast between the black building and the blue background. So I decided to make it into a kind of nighttime scene and make it look kind of magical. So I drew some stars, some clouds, and the moon, and just added some little details to highlight some parts of the cathedral. Originally I was planning on having like a little monster hanging off the cathedral, but I do like how this came out, and I think it does look nice even if it's not what I wanted it to be. Maybe I should do another video and try and take the photo on a sunnier day, and then maybe I'll be able to actually draw a little monster hanging off the tower. So for this Polaroid, I accidentally took this photo when I was holding the camera in my hand, which is really annoying, but I'm not going to let this go to waste. So I'm going to paint over it, and I'm putting washi tape around the edges to make sure they don't get covered in paint. I'm using gouache to paint this with. It took a while for the first layer of gouache to dry, but after that it dried like normal gouache would dry in a sketchbook. And I've been painting and drawing a lot of strawberries recently, so I decided to paint a strawberry on this. One of the things about this is, well, you'll see it in a minute, but because the tape was there, I didn't really quite judge exactly where the middle of the Polaroid was very well, so I feel like the strawberry is a little bit too low down to the bottom, but I am happy with how it looks, and I really enjoy painting strawberries for some reason. I don't know, I just really like the colours and how bright they are. I really love the pink and the green gouache that I've got. I think it's really nice, and I'm kind of a little bit obsessed with it at the moment, which is why I keep painting strawberries, as they're perfect to paint with those colours. And it's just a nice kind of relaxing thing. I can just paint now. I don't really have to use references. I can just paint them, and it's just a nice thing. I like painting. I haven't really got much more to say than that. It's just a little bit silly, but it was a good thing to paint on this Polaroid. I also just added some little dots on the background just because I felt like the background needed something just a little bit more to it, because I think it looked a little bit boring. And then I took the washi tape off, obviously, and this is what it looked like. So while I was out and about, I came across this football pitch, and I thought I could draw another bear kicking a football into this. But this time I decided that I would draw it digitally instead, so I'm going to be using my Instax printer to print it out once I have drawn over the photo I took. So for this I am using Procreate to draw over the photo. It took me a little while to get me figured out like how I wanted the bear to be facing and like kind of what I wanted it to be doing, but then eventually I did figure it out, and I kind of was just gonna have him facing his little bear friend, and they were gonna be playing some kind of ball game together. I really like doing this piece. It was a lot of fun, and it was kind of cool to be able to draw on the photo and then have it printed out, which I will talk about in a minute, because I've printed photos before with this printer and usually I have no problem with it, and in fact the photo itself came out okay, but when the bears got printed out I felt like they were a little bit faded, and I did try and print it out again and I kind of adjusted the settings, but I just couldn't figure out how to get it to work properly, and I didn't really want to waste my film on just printing out the same image over and over again. So yeah, eventually, you know, I just kind of stuck with the best looking one. It's just a shame because I really like the bear I drew in the Posca markers, but I definitely feel like Posca markers are definitely the best material when you want to draw onto Polaroids. Maybe there is a way where I can adapt this and make the digital illustrations work better with a Polaroid, because this is something I have done in the past for a previous project. I don't know if you remember, but when I was finishing my degree I printed Polaroids then, but they still came out a little bit faded, but not so much as this illustration. But I might actually take this illustration and use it for something else maybe, because it is still really cute and I do like it a lot anyway, even if it didn't work out like I wanted it to. Once I was happy with my finished illustration, I opened up the Instax app and I printed it out with my printer. As I said earlier, it did come out a lot more faded than I originally wanted to, and I feel like a lot of the detail had been lost. I think maybe if I'd done like a full-on illustration instead of drawing over a photo, it may have looked a lot better, and I think that would have been a lot nicer and it would have like actually shown up properly, whereas I feel like maybe the bears were a little bit too small, and they just didn't come out quite right because of that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, as that would really help me out and it would show that you'd like to see more content like this. If there's anything you would like to see from me, please let me know in the comments below, as I'd love to hear what you'd like to see from me. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button so you'll be the first to be notified for when I next upload. Don't forget to check out my Skillshare class as well, which I have linked down below in the description. If you go to that, you'll get 2 months for free of Skillshare premium membership, which I think is a really great deal, as there's so many things you can learn using Skillshare. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next week. Bye!